Level 70, the Black Heart Beneath. At last, Shiguri seems utterly devoid of hair and hope. You look well, Zilly. I pray your adventures have not been too taxing. As for myself, the search for the Soboro Sukahiro as well as Yojimbo continues. Would that I could claim even a measure of progress. Ah, Shiguri, there you are. We thought perhaps to find you inside, my bald man, but I see you are here and in the company of my stalwart assistant. Bald, you of all people should. Having failed to seize upon new information of value or even passing relevance, we were in the midst of reconsidering our investigative strategy. But tell me, have you word of Jim and our missing sword? Jim, who is... Ah, yes, Yojimbo. No, as I was just telling Zilly, I have made no progress since we last spoke. You seem distressed, Shiguri. Have you yet pined for your lost locks? Then pine no longer, for we have brought you a hair tonic of preternatural effectiveness. Really? Well, that is actually a very considerate gesture. Thank you. Why not try it right now? Aye, the sooner the better, perhaps. I say, to meet with Master Zombiebrand and his bosom companions yet again. Truly, the Kami have been kind to me. It is always a pleasure to see a man of the old horde. But were you not bound for Eorzea? Why are you yet in the Far East? Indeed, I had thought to return home and rejoin my brothers, and to that end did I call upon a local fisherman to secure passage. 'Twas from him that I heard a tale most fascinating, which compelled me to stay. A Funayuri, a far eastern variety of undead, had been seen wandering an Isle shore. As my previous attempts to recruit fellow zombies had met with failure, I thought, why not broaden my criteria and appeal to this ghost in the spirit of camaraderie? Alas, it is most elusive quarry, rather shy, it would seem. I sought to learn more of the Funayuri by questioning the people of this city, but have been unsuccessful thus far. I see. I realize this is sudden, but in your inquiries, did you hear mention of Jim? Jim, I fear I have heard naught of that particular Far Eastern spirit, though, to be honest, not all I have been willing to entertain my company, perhaps due to my undead nature. It pains me to hear that. In this world, there remain people prejudiced against the living impaired. You seek this gem, Master Zombiebrand. If so, I should be glad to help. Grateful as we would be, it might be wise to change your attire. The people's reluctance to speak with you may be due to your passing resemblance to a certain wolfish fugitive who, until recently, terrorized the city. Oh, how careless of me. I shall change into something less conspicuous at once. Then it is settled. When at first you don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us split up and speak with the men and women of Kugane. I guess we just run to that one. Yojimbo, you say? The name does ring a bell. Ah, yes, now I recall. The Lupin fellow was asking after him as well, though that was some time ago. He's since been detained by the Sekusegami, the Lupin, not your Yojimbo, that is. Not that I can imagine why. He's no criminal. Why, when I told him of how my mother had taken ill, he gave me the koban to purchase her medicine without my asking or anything. They say he's done terrible things, but a man like that, no, I refuse to believe it. If there's any justice in this world, he'll be set free. Gakugan. Let me guess, you were searching for a man named Yojimbo. The Sekusegami questioned me about him not long ago. Very desperate to find him, they were. I doubt they will receive much help from the populace at present, though. Why, you ask? Surely you've heard. The Kugane wolf burglar has been arrested. Despite what the wealthy elite would have you believe, he is no demon deserving of the harshest sentence. If anything, he is a hero to the downtrodden, having shared his spoils with the least among us. He asked me the Sekusegami ought to take a closer look at the merchants he targeted. Akebono in particular has been at the center of many dark rumors. Anyway, in light of the wolf's burglar's detainment, many are less than willing to aid the Sekusegami in their activities, and unfortunately if they suspect you to be working with them, you too may find your overtures rebuffed. Oh, you're also pursuing that Yojimbo fellow. The Sekusegami were asking after him the other day. I'll tell you what I told them. I've never heard of the man. Just between you and me, even if I did know something, I don't know if I would want to tell them. You know the Kugane wolf burglar, the one they locked away? Rumor has it they intend to inflict upon him a terrible punishment for his so-called crimes. Madness, I tell you, madness. Every single one of the burglar's victims were among the most notorious scoundrels of the city, greedy merchants with no scruples whatsoever. What's more, everything he stole he gave to poor and needy. Yet they decry him as a villain. Fools. Interesting. If not obvious, but interesting. I see, and what have you learned, Zilly? Not much about Yojimbo, I'm afraid. Apparently a certain Lupin is rather well loved. I had no idea the plight of the wolf burglar weighed upon the minds of so many. What exactly did they say? A hero to the poor and downtrodden, a criminal who simply gave away his hard-won spoils? This is all quite unexpected. But whatever aspersions they may cast upon his victims, the law is the law. Even disreputable merchants are deserving of fair and equitable treatment. To ignore their plight is to let the mob decide their fate. That said, to hear that some may withhold information in protest is cause for concern. As a man of the Sekusegami, I cannot help but feel conflicted. If I may, Shiguri, it might be best to dress in less conspicuous clothing, at least for the time being. I hate to say it, but that is a sensible suggestion. Surprisingly, perhaps I should make use of my old kimono. Yet even if I were to do so, my face is already known. It would mark me as a Sekusegami, and perhaps even resent my attempts to deceive them. I've got an idea. Why not ask the wolf burglar? If he's so popular with the people, who knows what secrets they've told him? Ask the wolf burglar? If both he and Yojimbo had designs on the Soboro Sukahiro, then it's possible they might know one another. Well done, Nachu. I was but mere moments from reaching the self-same conclusion. It's settled then. Let us go and question the prisoner without further delay. Greetings and well met, comrade. If I might have a moment of your time. That we might ascertain the whereabouts of the fugitive Yojimbo, we wish to speak with the Kugane wolf burglar. Will you permit us to enter? Certainly, Shiguri. If it will aid you in your investigation, follow me. I trust you enjoying our hospitality. I come bearing question. Questions, eh? For little old me, you say? Following your arrest, the Ronin Yojimbo absconded with the Soboro Sukahiro you stole from Master Akebono. He remains at large. We have reason to believe the sword was his objective all along, given that it was yours as well. I thought you might know something of the man and his motive. Everyone knows that sword's worth a bloody fortune and then some. Finding a buyer for a masterpiece as famous as the Soboro Sukahiro, especially after word of its theft is spread far and wide. Well, good luck with that, says I. Why, they'd surely have to avail themselves of the services of a certain disreputable folks with whom I happen to be intimately acquainted. I'd be happy to introduce you lot as soon as you set me free. What? Absolutely not. That is out of the question. Then we've got nothing more to discuss. Best be on your way. Now, Shiguri, let us not be too quick to judge. If the goodly men and women of Kugane are willing to trust in his good intentions, then perhaps we should as well. An awful lot of people were willing to vouch for his character. If what they say is true, then it would be wrong to see him hanged. I will propose to my superiors that you be temporarily released into our custody for the purposes of our investigation. Should you abide by the terms of our arrangement, you may receive leniency. What say you? I say you've got yourself a deal, Baldy. Will they even consider my proposal, though? The deliberations alone may prove time-consuming, and if they refuse... Remind me, Nashu, do you have that hair tonic on you? I sure do, Inspector. Now's as good a time as ever to try it, don't you think? Here? In the jail? Well, far be it from me to refuse. Remember to use the whole bottle, my good man. Pour it over your head until not a single drop remains. It seems rather wasteful, but if you insist. I feel strange, like my scalp is. Oh, by the kami. Shiguri, are you alright? I heard you shouting. The light, it binds them. There are too many. And turn and flex and shake and bounce. Perfection, rejoice, my goodly burglar, as I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have liberated you from your unjust imprisonment. Now see here, Inspector. Huh? What happened? Has the prisoner escaped? Still in his cell, I see, but what in the world was that blinding light? So stupid. So dumb. 1,000 pardons. One of my associates was carrying small explosives, one of which detonated unexpectedly. I, of course, bade her to take the others outside immediately for safety's sake. I believe that explains that. Yes? Yes? Right? Then, if you will excuse me. Ah, yes, of course. Very good. Wait, when did Shiguri regrow his hair? How we managed to escape undetected, I have no idea, but I can but pray that our ruse will remain intact. The wolf burglar led the others into the waterways below. We should follow. Doo-doo-doo. Into the underground. Been down here before? If so, you might have met my friends already. A contemptible lot, all Kugane's cast-offs. If anyone's heard a peep from your quarry, it'd be them. Come on then, don't be shy. Oh, you're looking well for a rat bastard. Takes a wolf to know a rat, huh? So what do we owe the pleasure? And more importantly, how do you slip free of the Sekusegami's noose? With my dashing good looks and my silver tongue, how else? But never you mind that, I need information, Goju. Do you now, or is the Sekusegami at your shoulder the one asking questions? No need to give the lad a hard time. He did right by me and I mean to return the favor. Yeah, you mean you're helping him? Have you gone mad? Well, even if I have, it's nothing you and yours need to worry your pretty little heads over. Give us a hand and we'll get out of your hair. Wolf's honor. They're not a bad bunch, really. Most tried to make a living on the straight and narrow. Some even had a mind to join the Sekusegami like you, but were found wanting for this reason or that. When honest work's no longer an option, that leaves the other sort. The dangerous, the disreputable, the dirty. Somebody's got to do it, and so these industrious souls pick up the slack. Maybe they're not the cream you'd prefer to hobnob with, but while you're in their company, I'd ask that you comport yourselves with a modicum of civility. I should like to believe I have done just that. You'll forgive me if I have given you any reason to think otherwise. See, fast friends we all are, right then? We're after a bloke what goes by the moniker of Yojimbo. Heard tell of the man? Yojimbo, can't say that rings a bell. Boy, any of you know a fella by the name of Yojimbo? Well, there you have it. Might be different if we had a bounty on his head. What'd he do, anyway? Piss into Bugyo's rice porridge? If only. Stole the Soboro Sukahiro, he did. Bugger me, that's a beauty. Wonder why, though. Finding a buyer, even through the black market, would be a challenge and a half. And even if he'd even put out the word he was looking, we'd have heard about it by now. Got to come all this way and leave with nothing. Here, let's not call it a day just yet. Assuming this Yojimbo didn't steal the sword for the challenge, there's only two reasons he'd take it. To sell it or to keep it. If it's not about the money, then I doubt this is his first prize, or his last. Hark, my keen inspector's sense whispers and speaks of a thieving collector of swords. Yes, there can be no mistake. Aye, what he said, I suppose. If he's a collector, then only the best will do, which means his next target might be, oh, I don't know, the Ame no Murakumo. Wait, the Ame no Murakumo, but I thought it was nothing more than a fairy tale. Do you mean to say the fabled Sword of Eld actually exists? I've seen it with my own eyes. A giant kami tried to kill me and my friends with it, but I deflected the blow. You what? I have so many questions, but first, where did all this happen? Housed within the Kojin of the Red's treasure vault, eh? If that's the case, then it seems to me you ought to continue your search in the Ruby Sea, no? Might well be the best place for us to look. In that case, let us brook no further delay and head to the Ruby Sea at once. Let's speak with Shiguri first. You think that Ame no Murakumo is not only real, but that it was brought to bear against you and yours by kami of unfathomable strength. In any event, we now know where we might search the Ruby Sea. Before I may leave, however, there is a matter of great import to which I must attend. Well, perhaps great import is something of an overstatement. I speak of the inspector's earlier advice concerning my garments. I will meet you at the Ruby Price after I have changed. Pray go on ahead without me, I insist. Black Heart Beneath, complete. Good swords, good dogs. Level 70. Truly, there is no rest for the righteous, or whatever term one might use to describe Hildibrand, Heliodor, Maximilian Manderville. All set for another trip into the glittering westward expanse? I know I am. Let us hop aboard the next ferry to the Ruby Price and wait for Shiguri there. As he requested, come along. We'll just do this. They're running around looking for an ether, right? Oh, it's Shiguri. Over here, over here. By the Kami, I thought you were someone else at first. Well, since it was suggested that I should wear something other than the garments of Iseku Segami for a time, I paid a visit to Kogane Dori and purchased something completely unlike my usual attire. Quite the change, but very much for the better, if I do say so myself. I didn't realize you could be so fashionable. Fashionable? Please, Nashu, you give me too much credit. I'll say that get up with those Zori. I don't see that becoming a trend. Not that it matters, we didn't come here to mess about, eh? We've got a collector to catch. Assuming he's after the Ame no Murakamu, then we've got to get to the Isle of Zeki. Any ideas? By air or by underwater passage, eh? It's a bit more tricky than I thought. Without the blessing of the Kojin, the latter seems almost impossible. What about that bird of yours? Montaro, was it? After what the inspector did to him, he'll be keeping a wide berth, I reckon, assuming he's even fit to fly. It was somewhat traumatic experience for all involved, Forgive me my bluntness, my wolfish compatriot. It occurs to me that we have yet to hear your motives for attempting to steal the Soboro Sukahiro from Master Akibono. Did not Koju say that selling such a blade would be extraordinarily difficult? It's not stealing to take back what was stolen. The black-hearted bastard Akibono prized it from the hands of its rightful owner. He was a humble samurai who lived a humble life devoid of most luxuries, a righteous man who never turned his back on those in need, certainly not a young Lupin boy who'd fled Doma during the occupation. The two lived as father and son with few comforts save each other's company. And then one day a merchant came calling, asking after the samurai's sword, asking him to part with his one prized possession. But a sword is a samurai's soul, and he'd sooner die than sell it, even for a fortune. But the merchant, he's not the sort to go quietly into the night. He'd change his tack and worms his way into the samurai's affairs, small sums at first, but bigger than bigger. Before he knows it, the samurai owes the merchant a veritable mountain of coin, and so he pledges his blade as collateral. Samurai worked day and night to reclaim his honor, but while strong in spirit, he was weak in body. He fell sick and soon after passed away, leaving his Lupin charge alone in this unjust world. All this time, you were only... He left Kugane for a time and returned years later from Yangsha, having learned the ways of the shinobi that he might honor his adoptive father by helping others as he had helped him as a child. Chivalrous guise for a personal vendetta, perhaps. More than anything, he yearned to reclaim the samurai's sword, the last surviving memento of their time together, that he might wear it with pride. All this time, Master Akibono was your main objective. When you broke into his shop in Rakuza district, you were searching for Soboro Sukahiro. Kept a close eye on him, even as you continued to target other disreputable merchants, that you might drive him to take additional measures to protect the sword, knowing that in doing, he would eventually reveal its location. And it is settled. The Soburo Tsukihiro must be returned to its rightful owner. Hey, if it's so hard for people to reach the Isle of Zeki, how was Yojimbo planning to get there? That I do not know, but regardless, if he was headed there, someone must have noted his passing. Say we question the pirates of Sakazuki and see if any have observed a traveler resembling Yojimbo of late. We are of the same mind. Shiguri to Sakazuki, post haste. Right into the wall. Nope. Didn't look like the right quest, but then I saw Nashu sitting there. Yeah, I'm not gonna have to do all those side quests, right? I remember you looking for more dead men. Rail-thin samurai with a wide-brimmed hat and oversized gita. Travel like that would not escape my notice, which is to say I'm confident I haven't seen him. Sorry to disappoint you. Not at all, my friend. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. As I said before, my good woman, when you first don't succeed, make inquiries again. Let us away. I'm just going through the circle trying to find everybody. What was that? Lanky samurai with a large hat? As it happens, I spoke with a traveler like that. Had a dog with him, too. Sure enough, he had a mind to head to the Isle of Zeki. Couldn't imagine why, what with the Red being as unwelcoming as they are, and there being no place to dock a boat. I told him as much, but he shrugged it off and went on his merry way. Come to think of it, did I see that dog of his not long ago on the beach below, wandering about? I hope he didn't abandon him. You have been tremendously helpful. 1,000 thanks to you. Surely the canine in question is Daigoro. We must gather the others and search for Jem's beloved companion at once. Daigoro, here, Daigoro. Oh, I think I see him over there. Maybe he doesn't like us anymore. No, you've just got to give the pup the right incentive is all. Incentive? Surely it can't be that simple. See for yourself. Woof woof. Woof, woof, woof. So that's all it takes to win him over, eh? A single Koban? Greedy little thing. Hush, Shiguri. Daigoro is a good dog, and now he will lead us to his master. Woof, woof. He's a good boy. This is quite a fix indeed. Woof, woof. Dagero, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to wait for me. Hildy? Jim, my good man. I mean, you rapscallion, you've nowhere to run. Cease your shenanigans and relinquish the Soboro Sukahiro at once. I will do no such things. Ever since I was bested by your tight-lipped associate over yonder, I yearned for an opportunity to redeem myself, and so I set about searching for stronger swords with which I might bring my everything to bear. I thought to claim victory with the Ame no Mura Kumo in hand, but if circumstances demand we settle this here and now, then so be it. Stay your hand, my friend, though I know you only mean well. Securing the sword is a grave responsibility which falls to... I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, will resolve this conflict and reclaim the sword. Prepare to be amazed as the Soboro Sukahiro is delivered into my waiting arms. Daigoro, oh Daigoro, come here and let Hilda give you a great big belly rub. Daigoro, you will do no such thing. What? Betrayed! The inspector does come from a wealthy family, so maybe he smells of money. Till you surrender the Soboro Sukahiro, I will give Daigoro the most furious of belly rubs, thereby depriving you of the pleasure, such as my ultimatum. Daigoro, Daigoro, return to me this instant. Oh, fie on it. You win. The sword is yours. By the Kami, I can't believe that actually worked. Inspector Hildibrand's powers of negotiation are most impressive. Mummy! They're just playing together, right? Wait, where's the Soboro Sukahiro? Right where it belongs. You fiend, return it at once. That's far enough, all of you. Look at me, where did they come from? Ah, this isn't over. Yuri, what is this I hear about you setting free a notorious fugitive? Explain yourself at once. Well, you see, Inspector Hildibrand and I, in order to track down Yojimbo and the Soboro Sukahiro, we needed to enlist the assistance of the wolf burglar. To that end, we removed him from the jail temporarily, of course. We have every intention of returning him to his cell. And how do you intend to do so when your prisoner has taken flight? Shiguri, I charge you with aiding and abetting a criminal in their escape. Be reasonable. You know full well that everything Shiguri did was to achieve a greater good, to uphold the law of the land. We will return with the Soboro Tsukihiro and the Wolf Burglar, I swear to you. Your actions in service to the Sekusegami are not unknown to me. Nevertheless, Shiguri must be held to account for this. To make an exception at your request would only compound the offense. No man is above the law, not even our own. Poor Shiguri. Can't catch a break. What a miscarriage of justice to see our Shiguri spirited away like a common criminal in complete disregard for extenuating circumstances. It falls to us to find a way to right this wrong, but this is no place to devise a plan. To Gugane, my friends. Oh yeah, they're really goofy. Oh yeah, the Hildy quests. Oh, they're super stupid. Yeah, I really like them. I like stupid stuff sometimes. Like, not always in the mood for stuff this dumb, but like it's a good change of pace from time to time. I know it's not for everybody. Oh, my good woman, I hardly know where to begin. Oh, there's not? I know it's in the new expansion. Because I remember people bitching about it being tied to the weapons, but I don't want any spoilers, so... Oh, my good woman, I hardly know where to begin. Ever since our return, I've been racking my brain to trying to conceive of a means by which we might free Shiguri from his predicament, but to no avail. By absconding with the sword, the Wolf Burglar has done us no favors, and yet I do not think his tale of the samurai and Akebono was a lie. My keen inspector sense tells me that the many threads of this tale are converging upon a single point not far from now, in which all truth shall be laid bare for all to see. Core, that's what I like to hear, and I agree. I don't think the Wolf Burglar's bad at all. Once the Sekusegami realize that, they're sure to let Shiguri off the hook, don't you think? I most certainly do, Nashu. Furthermore, I say that to hasten this most desirous of resolutions, I must begin investigating Master Akebono at once. Hold the fort while I'm gone, my stalwart assistant. Yes, sir, Inspector. I don't know what he's about, but I'm sure it'll be brilliant. Good swords, good dogs, complete. Suppose this day was bound to come, no matter. Soon there will be nothing in this world beyond my grasp. Hehehe. Goofy mustache. Gentleman hero Hildibrand. Hildibrand will return in, the past is never past. Alright. Level 70. The past is never past. Like a moth to the flame, but why else would you come if not for Nashu, Makaracha, and the Inspector Hildibrand shenanigans? Oh, where in the world could he be? Oh, it's you. I don't suppose you bumped into Inspector Hildibrand roaming about, have you? Making his inquiries? Oh, ever since Shiguri got detained by the Sekusegami, the inspector's been busy looking into the affairs of Master Akabanu, but to no avail. Never fear, my faithful assistants, I have returned. Your unwavering loyalty to the pursuit of honor and justice and a hard-boiled egg is to be commended, my good woman. I might go as far as to say that, in all my years as an inspector, I have known no fan more passionate than you. But speaking of fans, during the course of my investigation into the darker rumors concerning Master Akebono, I received a mysterious missive I can but presume was penned by one of my many admirers. Gosh, Inspector Hildibrand, even in the Far East you've got yourself a following. Can I see it? Certainly, Nashu. That's interesting. It's definitely not written by a Hingan, but they don't seem to be too good with their Eorzean letters. Yeah, something of light, you who seeks the strongest of swords, a Soboro Sukahiro, know that I have laid claim to this most priceless treasure. You would make it yours, meet me upon Kugane Ohashi for a duel to end all duels. Sincerely, you know who. Something of light, you say. Why, he must be referring to none other than my humble self, the one and only gentleman of light. That said, I would much rather resolve this dispute without resorting to duels and the like. Wait here, my friends, while I go and attempt to reason with this misguided ruffian. I'm pretty sure they wrote warrior, not gentleman. Which probably means they're talking about Zilly. What do you think, Inspector? Inspector Hildibrand? What do you mean he up and ran off? And why are you still standing here? You should hurry up and try to catch him before he does something silly. Oh yeah, like... Hildibrand do something silly? Come on now. Alright. Do. Is that you, Zilly? As you can see, I seem to have found myself in a pickle, and by pickle I mean the ground. Kugane Ohashi lies beyond this gate, but before I could pass through, I found myself suddenly accosted, then inverted, then embedded thusly by the dear but misguided gem. A duel I must regrettably leave up to you. Kugane Ohashi, now accessible. You found her updated with new regular duty. Kugane Ohashi. In the far eastern realm... Never mind. Kugane Ohashi, level 70. In the far eastern realm of Hingashi, in the pitch of night, perched atop a ship's mast, a warrior waits. In his hand, a sacred treasure, a sword without peer. Yet the enigmatic Yojimbo is a man with many secrets secreted within his many sleeves, all which he is prepared to bring to bear against his most fearsome radiant foe. Okay. Let's do it. No, we're going into this blind. We're gonna do them all. We do them all blind. For far, far too long have I waited for this rematch. Soburo Sukihiro may have brought us together, but 'twas fate that ordained we engage in glorious fisticuffs, but with swords. That's the last part. Victory will be mine this day. Gilgameshing time. Oh, is he Gilgamesh? Or do we have to fight them both? No, he is Gilgamesh. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Welcome back, Greg. I was wondering where he had been. Doritos, you always stack for Doritos. Dragon heads. They're gonna come from the other side too. Now with the AoEs, I need to be able to back up. Oh no! Didn't have an opening. So far, so good. Matter which one we attack, I don't see any debuffs. The hell is that thing? Okay, it's just a raid wide. I didn't know he could do that. Oh, chains. Okay. Then we have to break the chains. Generally. Oh, everybody looks like they got hit with it. Yeah, I see the heads. Oh, nice. Okay, that went well. Welcome back, Greg. I yield, I yield. Throw myself upon your boundless mercy and beg forgiveness, please. I'm glad I brought my adventurer friends to the far east with me. Oh, somebody's left. Loot. What kind of loot? Oh yeah, we need that. We need barding. Is anything else added? No minions. Figured it might be one for like Daigoro. There he is. We meet again, Hildy. Greg, I say, you are a sight for sore eyes. However, did you come to be here in Kugane, in the Far East for that matter? Ah, well, you see, the thing about that is... I say, to think that Greg was masquerading as Jim this entire time. Indeed, I was. After Zilly bested me a second time, I quit Eorzea and embarked upon a journey to distant lands, that I might hone my skills in preparation for our inevitable third bout. But when I saw you had misread my carefully written words and come in her stead, I felt I had no choice but to remove you from the field forcibly. Pray forgive me my unkindness, Hildy. Now, Greg, there is no need for apologies between friends. Yet again, I must ask, though, how did you come to be here in Kugane as a Ronin of much repute and remarkably thin waist? I know it seems far-fetched, even insulting to your intelligence, but there's a simple and highly satisfying explanation. In my quest to hone my skills and procure more powerful weapons overseas, I neglected to budget properly for food and drink, and soon found myself bereft of both. Driven to deathly hunger, I fell to my knees, and in that instant looked to my bosom friend, the painted rooster that had offered me companionship in my darkest hour. Oh my! Did he beat his fake Enkidu? Did he eat him? When dawn broke the following day, I was alone once more, a sliver of strength restored by the terrible sacrifice of my comrade, whose body and soul I would carry with me ever after. But by his grace I survived for days and days after, until I chanced to cross paths with a stray dog. He too was clearly a victim of the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune, and in each other we found kindred spirits, we orphans of fate. Thus did I name him Daigoro, and thereafter did we travel as one, working together that we might both live to see another day. When we at last arrived at Kugane, I sought employment as a mercenary to rebuild my misspent savings and resume my search for the strongest of swords. It was through such ventures that I acquired the Zanmato, in fact, and began to build my reputation as Yojimbo. Naturally, a legendary Ronin must dress to meet the expectations of his clients, and so I assumed an outfit that would satisfy those who requested my services. Kageyama was one such client. When I saw that Zilly and her comrades were to be my opponent, though, I quickly realized he had not paid me nearly enough. More fool me. Needless to say, the sight of the woman who had bested me twice before was enough to rekindle the competitive spirit within me, and so when I heard tale of the Soboro Tsukahiro, I knew I must claim it in preparation for our battle. The rest, you know. Truly a riveting tale. And tragic besides, for though I fought with all my strength, yet again I was defeated by the great and powerful Warrior of Light. As I said to you on the bridge, no more tricks. I have taken my shot and fallen short, and so I will cease my shenanigans and instead pledge my complete support to your endeavors, that I might make amends for my misdeeds. We should be glad to have it, Greg. Welcome aboard. Let us return to Nashu and share with her the wonderful news. You too, Greg. You're a full-fledged assistant now. Here's Nashu. By the N. Rakuza. Terrible news, everyone. Whatever's the matter, Nashu? It's Shiguri. As punishment for helping the wolf burglar escape, he's been sentenced to death by ritual suicide. This is indeed a disturbing development, Hildy. We have no time to spare, my friends. Presuming the wolf burglar is in the wind, our only recourse is to delve deeper into the hidden past of Master Akebono and uncover proof that the sword he claims was first stolen by he himself. Divide and conquer, agents of inquiry style. Question Kugane resident. How did Akebono earn his fortune, you ask? By peddling a variety of medicinal wares for all manner of purposes. From what I heard, they were all remarkably effective and popular. He still enjoys a reputation as a premier source of alchemical goods. Would that I had the coin to afford such luxurious potions and potables. His clientele spends in a visit what I earn in a month. Snake oil salesman? Is it real stuff? I guess we'll find out. I should be glad to speak of Master Akebono to you, albeit solely with regards to his character as a businessman. Like all who have risen to mercantile prominence, he has been at the center of rumor and intrigue. For every man who sings his praises, there is another who would curse his name. None will deny the efficacy of his medicines, which is to be expected given that he utilizes the finest ingredients from that birthplace of alchemy, Razatan. His satisfied customers are beyond counting. On the other hand, none can deny the exorbitant profits he has reaped by tightly controlling the supply of Hanish ingredients. Absent competition, he is free to dictate prices as he sees fit. Unfortunately, this has led many in desperate need of his miraculous medicines to spend their entire life savings or seek assistance from disreputable moneylenders. His practices are ultimately wholly within the confines of the law, so again, as a businessman, he is to be lauded for his success, but I will say nothing on his morals or ethics or lack thereof. What a guy. There's always something dirty going on. Have you tantalizing tidbits of information to share, my good woman? Come, out with it. The medicines Akebono sells are second to none. Akebono built his fortune selling miraculous medicines for exorbitant prices. A man who preys on the sick and needy for personal gain, is he? As expected, there is far more to Master Akebono than meets the eye. Inspector, we've got to hurry. Shiguri's execution is going to be carried out any moment now if we don't do something. What, already? And there I was hoping we might first conduct a thorough investigation and uncover information with which we might convince them to set the poor man free, but absent that... there are many roads which lead to just ends. If we must take a shortcut to avert a grave miscarriage of justice, then so be it. Honored brothers, I will not beg your forgiveness, only pray that by this humble offering of my life that I might absolve the Sekusegami of the shame I have brought upon it through my misdeeds. What is the meaning of this? That man is an impostor. Seize him. Seize him at once. Shiguri, now is your chance to escape. I will do no such thing. I may have lost what little honor was mine in life, but at least I can reclaim it in death. Your honor is yet yours, samurai. You need not cut your belly open this day, Shiguri, for you have the Soboro Tsukahiro and the infamous wolf burglar besides. But why? We had a deal, remember? Temporary release, and I'm a wolf of my word. Aye, this is indeed the Soboro Tsukahiro. Very well, escort the wolf burglar back to his cell and send a runner to Master Akebono's estate at once. Action? We are far from finished, Shiguri. The wolf burglar may be in custody once more, but you must still answer for your reckless actions. Therefore, after further deliberation, I've decided that you will conduct a formal investigation into the rumors surrounding Master Akebono. And that will not be necessary. Indeed, with the return of the wolf burglar, I believe we can consider this tiresome affair resolved. Master Kumode. Wait, I know you, Master Akebono's guest, the one the Geico threw into the wall. Oh, surely you must be mistaken. I have no recollection of any such event, or of you for that matter. Anyway, as I said before, I believe there is no need for any further investigation. Should you deem otherwise, you are free to proceed. However, such wasteful expenditures may force us to reconsider the resources we allocate you and yours next year. Rest assured, Master Kumode, that we value your counsel deeply, and you should be glad to defer to your judgment. Shiguri, the matter of the Soboro Tsukahiro and Master Akebono is now officially closed. That will be all. Yes, that will be all. Ominous. Ha ha ha. Verily, I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have once more done the impossible and saved a man from certain death. Shame that the others seem so eager to wash their hands of the affair. Not Shiguri, though. I understand he still has questions for the wolf burglar. Passes never pass. Complete. Don't do the dew prism. Shiguri wants answers now, or he wants them eventually. Okay. What ho, Shiguri, over here. My friends, I cannot thank you enough. Had you not arrived when you had, I would not be standing before you now. You will forgive me for dispensing with further expressions of gratitude, for I have just returned from jail where I spoke with the wolf burglar who shared with me some rather troubling information. Do not keep us in suspense, my good man. What is it? Not long after we delivered the wolf burglar into the custody of the Sekusegami, Master Akebono stormed into the jail and began berating the turnkey, demanding that they return the stolen contents of his safe. You may recall that we spoke with Master Akebono concerning his theft shortly after we first met. It was rather secretive regarding said contents at the time, but the wolf burglar said it was an unmarked satchel filled with white powder. Given Master Akebono's reputation as a purveyor of medicines, our chivalrous thief resolved to steal it for the benefit of the poor and needy, as is his wont. Is it the sleep powder? However, since there was nothing to identify what manner of medicine it was, the wolf burglar decided to hold on to it for safekeeping. Plainly, however, no ordinary medicine, for why else would Master Akebono clamor for it so? My keen inspector's sense is tingling. Where is this satchel now? In possession of the men and women of the waterways. They will not admit this, however, unless we give them the proper password. As above, so below. Understood. Let us hasten to their den of iniquity. No one knows the remedy for your iniquity except me. You are wicked, but I am more wicked than you. Be silent. As above, so below. Batu Barata. That was right? You'd lot turn up again sooner or later. Don't expect you'd be bringing along another unfamiliar face, though. No matter, I like the cut of his jib. So what are you after this time? Certain satchel containing a certain white powder which once belonged to a certain merchant. The wolf burglar told me you have it. If he did, then he'd have told you the magic words, too. Ah, yes, of course, they are. Soar high above and never go low. What? Kami, take me. No, this is no time for fun and games, Inspector. As above, so below. Get low, get low, get low, get low. I will go whither the wild rose blooms. Let me get back to you. Alright, that's it. Nothing personal, but we've got to be careful. Damn, if I know what it is, but my gut tells me it's nothing no honest man would keep in a locked safe. That said, a suspicious powder is far from incontrovertible proof of criminal misdeeds. We'd need to first determine what it is. Any ideas how we might do so? Seek the assistance of a Hannish alchemist or someone versed in their alchemical traditions? Perhaps someone at the Thabnarian consulate. Brilliant minds think alike, for I too reached that conclusion but a moment ago. To the Thabnarian consulate, my friends. Here, you can't simply go and bang on the gates of a foreign consulate and expect to... Oh, never mind. Why did we not just teleport? I don't know. 'Cause 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 We're gonna have to do it anyways. It's gonna take too long. Don't do the Dew Prism. It is all rather sudden, I realize, but to reiterate, it is of utmost importance that we speak with your superiors. To reiterate, have you an appointment or not? Not as such, no. In my hands they are tied. There are procedures, samurai, and much paperwork. No exceptions can be made. Under normal circumstances I would agree, but this is a matter of public safety and welfare. Surely an exception can be made. What ho, young Manderville man? Godbert. Father. What brings you to the far side of the world? Complex series of events too exhausting to detail. Of greater importance is what brings us to the consulate. You see, we must needs enlist the assistance of a Hannish alchemist, or one with an encyclopedic knowledge of Hannish reagents. How fortunate, then, that we should chance to meet. I am a representative of Sajatra concern of Rajasthan. Should you know not the name, we trade in all manner of alchemical goods. Your quandary requires the expertise of one versed in such wares. Pray permit me to assist you. Indeed, to aid the son of Lord Godbert Vanderville and his comrades would be an honor most great. This is most generous of you. Far be it from us to refuse. Perhaps a change of venue is in order. I say, let us not impose upon these hard-working keepers of the peace any longer. This powder, it is most fascinating, an ingredient of Hannish origin, this is true, but not one intended for medicinal purposes. Dangerous purposes, rather, and for this reason its sale is forbidden. In the hands of a master alchemist, it could be used to create Dew Prism. I'm sorry, Dew Prism? The most powerful drug, a mere thimbleful, is enough to befuddle the senses and render even the most strong-willed subject susceptible to any and all commands. You may be assured this is not an exaggeration. Resistance is, most regrettably, quite futile. Undetectable it is, save for the occasional glimmer in the eyes, a changing of the color, fleeting and impossible. By the kami, I have seen such a glimmer before. Oh, are you quite sure it was not a trick of the light? I saw it too. Master Kumode is being manipulated. This is Akebono's doing. He must be using Dew Prism for evil ends. Well deduced, my faithful assistant and undying fan. I was just about to voice the same conclusion. Well, if what you say is true, then a most terrible crime has been committed. Evidence must be gathered, and those responsible must be punished. It all makes sense now. Why else would the chief coin counter of the Sekusegami press so strongly to end an investigation into a modest merchant? Because he drugged him during their meeting. At last we have motive, means, and opportunity. Come, let us put an end to this once and for all. How wonderful it is to see Hildy's infectious enthusiasm inspire others to rise to the occasion once more. Well then, do not let me detain you. Where's he at? Akibono, we call on you to come forth and answer for your dastardly deeds. Doesn't seem like anybody's home, does it? Wherever could he possibly be? But that's impossible. Thought you'd seen the last of me, did you? As if I'd content myself with sitting in a jail I could escape on a whim while you lot bungle your chance to bring my nemesis to justice. By escaping on someone else's watch, no one can pin the blame on you this time, eh? We want a repeat of before. Don't tell me this was your plan all along, to secure my freedom so we could expose Akibono's crimes together. And reclaim the Soboro Tsukahiro into the bargain. Aye, this is no small undertaking, and I knew I'd need all the help I can get. Now that we're all on the same page, let's be on our way. The bastard's bound for the Isle of Beko, off to meet with a silent partner, I'm told. Capital. If we hurry, perhaps we can beat Akibono to the punch. He may be an idiot, but he's got the right idea. There's no time to waste. He's an inspector extraordinaire. Very well, if that is the way the winds are blowing, let no one say I don't also blow. Echo, Becky. Actually, stuttering again. Oh well. This is the place, I'm sure of it. All we have to do is wait. Father? Father Kami, could it be that the inspector's father is in league with Akibono? Don't be daft, look closer. As always, your discretion in these matters is greatly appreciated. As is yours, Master Akibono. But to the matter at hand, the dew prism, it has served you well, met your expectations, I trust? Ha ha ha, exceeded them, I should say. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that a drug could be so powerful, so effective. Tasteless, odorless, colorless, the chief coin counter had no idea his drink had been compromised. He has already proven to be a most useful tool in manipulating the Sekusegami, more than worth the regular upkeep to keep him in my thrall. Now that the Soboro Tsukahiro is back where it belongs, I can set my sights on much bigger prizes. The Bugyo show, perhaps? Magistrate Akibono, huh? Why not? All Kugane is mine for the taking. You are more right than you know, Master Akibono, for I come bearing a gift courtesy of Manderville and Manderville, a most illustrious Eorzean consortium of which you have doubtless heard. Their resources are considerable, and their influence extends far beyond the borders of Aldenard, but all their wealth pales in comparison to what I present to you now. We discuss, Lord Godbert, you will serve Master Akibono faithfully and without question, will you not? But of course. Kami for Finn, he's under the influence of Dew Prism. Wait, you fool, now is not the time. Father, 'tis I, your beloved son, Hildibrand. Hearken to me. These men are villains. You are being deceived. The inspector arrives, as I knew he would. Doubtless your friends are cowering and hiding. Just as well, in one fell swoop we shall bring an end to this farce. I call upon Eorzea's most fearsome of goldsmiths. I call upon the hammer. Go forth and lay waste to these interlopers. Oh dear. Wahaha! Magnificent. Finish them all. Finish everyone. Calls to you, Hildibrand, Heliodor, and Maximilian Manderville. Forgive me, Father, but you know not what you do. You're a Manderville man. It's so stupid. A young Hildy. Manderville man. Abort, Father, abort. Spare me your reverse, Manderville. Ooh, and I'm spent. What happened here? Well, this is all very embarrassing indeed. 1,000 pardons to you all for my rather excessive display of martial prowess. Oh, and it should go without saying, but Manderville and Manderville will be severing all ties with Sajatra concern. Joyce, my friend, for we have reclaimed the Soboro Sukahiro once more. How fortunate that the dastardly Akebono would be so loath to set it aside that he would rather bring it with him to the secret rendezvous. A final favor, if you'll indulge me. Lay it at my father's grave. Right then, I suppose you'll be wanting to get me back to the jail. Regardless of the reasons, a crime is a crime, and mine are many. An upstanding Sekusegami like yourself must adhere to a code, no? Indeed, I must, which is why I will be with much regret that I inform my superiors I have seen neither hide nor hair of the notorious wolf burglar. You sure about this? Not if you ask me again. Go to your father. Shiguri has the right of it. You should be the one to bring your father's spirit the comfort and closure it deserves. That's sweet. You're mad, each and every one of you, even the samurai, and I love you all the more for it. Thank you. To hold fast to a righteous creed, yet recognize when too rigid an adherence would result in greater injustice. Truly, I am privileged to have witnessed this display of nuanced nobility. Would that, like the burglar, I might find a measure of peace and mourning, mine own dearly departed. Oh, Enkidu, if only you knew how sorry I am. Enkidu, but how? Then what was it that I ate that fateful day? Fools? Think you this the end? I think not. Huzzah, you belong to me now, Ronan. Now, spirit me away from this place, far, far, far away. Wahahaha. Far, far, far away. Wahahaha. Greg, no, cease your egress. Beyond the rift that lies between, to the wondrous worlds yet unseen. Okay, he travels through dimensions. Wait, no, how dare you twist the word? Mummy, this is going to get worse before it gets better. It's like it's going too fast. Wait for me, Inspector. Oh, ho, ho, there he goes, my beloved son, not content to fly off into the sky as before. This time he elects to take his leave by vanishing into the earth. Brief though our time was together, I cannot deny how much he has grown, both as an inspector extraordinaire and a Manderville man besides. I say, a father could not be more proud. And off goes Lord Godbert, along with Akebono. I should thank him for that. Nothing left for us but to follow them back to Kugane, I suppose. Are you ready? Good, then let us be off. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Cannot even begin to imagine where I would be had I never crossed paths with you and your comrades. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for everything. Seku Segami have concluded that even before the chief coin counter fell under Akibono's thrall, he willingly and enthusiastically conspired with the merchant to illicit ends, so he will be held to account. As for Akibono and his now defunct enterprise, the Thavnarian consulate has agreed to intercede on behalf of its countrymen to broker a more equitable arrangement between Hanish suppliers and Hingan merchants. All agree that another monopoly would serve no one's interest. Regardless of their motivations, if their actions put more medicine in the hands of the sick and needy, then I think it's safe to call it a change for the better, don't you? Best part, if you ask me, in light of Akibono's crimes, all debts owed to him by those forced to pay his exorbitant prices are to be wiped clean. There was a time when I might not have thought as much, good and evil, the innocent and the criminal, and it all seemed so simple in the abstract, but out here in the real world, life is anything but. You and the inspector helped me to understand how naive I was. You taught me to look beyond appearance and hearsay, not to be too quick to judge a man for his misdeeds. If I am worthy of the Seku Segami, it is because you and him. Speaking of which, what exactly did become of Inspector Hildibrand? Do you think we ought to do something? Conduct a search, or... Oh, so this is a regular occurrence, is it? Fair enough. If you are certain that he will turn up eventually, none the worse for wear, then I shall take your word for it and strike all worry from my mind. Should that fateful day ever come that you and he are reunited once more, I but ask that you give him my best regards. I would say the same for the wolf burglar. I wonder what he's doing now. Keeping watch for the next Akibono, paying his respects to his father. What becomes of a man after death I do not know, but I should like to believe that his father rests more easily this day. Shiguri, this is no time to dawdle. Your duties are far from finished. Yes, forgive me, right away. I must take my leave, but whenever you are passing through Kugane, I pray you do not hesitate to call on me here at the barracks. Don't do the Dew Prison. Complete. You have learned the emote Manderville Mambo. Gentleman Hero Hildibrand. A little more elegant than the other Mandeville dance. will return, question mark. Good night, sweet Hildy. Oh, that's on New Game Plus? I guess if I wanted to ever go back and do the other ones, I could, huh?